Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Radiant Spirit. I'm Jennifer Gibbons, and this is a podcast about self-love and getting in touch with your most authentic self. That is our running theme here, always, subject to change, is like we're always constantly transforming and changing. And that really is kind of the theme of what's going on today. As it would so happen, I don't have any interviews lined up today. And there was a part of me that thought, oh, well, maybe I just deserve a little downtime. We've been sick in our house this last week. And I thought, well, maybe this is the universe telling me just to dial it back and rest a little bit. Although I'm feeling great. My partner's still not, but I'm feeling pretty awesome and no reason to not share what's going on with myself, because while last week was rough as far as illness in my home, just a cold, nobody's dying, it's all good, but those are still icky. You gotta still take really good care of yourself. But on top of that, I have been going through an incredible transformation. I am shedding some serious freaking skin this last week, and I have this Kundalini practice that I've been doing. I'm doing this 40-day challenge with a friend of mine. It's a prosperity challenge, which is just some Kundalini exercises. And if you're not familiar with Kundalini yoga, it is chanting. It's mantras, which is like chanting with your voice, and mudra, which is usually hand positions, and usually you're visualizing something. The kriyas all vary, or the exercises are also called kriyas. They vary. This particular challenge I'm doing, it has three different kriyas, or three different exercises. It's a really short practice. I do like 12 minutes a day, but nearing the end of this 40-day challenge I'm doing with a friend, and the things that came up for me in this really short little 12-minute stretch of my morning this last week has been very eye-opening and a little shocking for me. I was really seeing and being shown by my highest self the areas of my life where I am not doing myself any freaking service. I am really doing myself a massive injustice. And I didn't realize that I was doing this to myself. And so it was kind of a shock to my system for me to see these areas of my life where I definitely could use some improvement. So let's talk about it. And really, what it comes down to is areas of my life where I have not been valuing myself, which is a constant theme for me. And really, what I feel like a lot of us are really trying to overcome. There is this, an overwhelming amount of us are not comfortable valuing ourselves. And we live in this society that makes us think that that's a selfish thing. Um, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it's a particularly for women, it's not okay to really come out and value ourselves, or really people talk a lot of shit if you're that person that is confident and values the shit out of yourself. And so trying to break these old habits, and not to just to say that men don't deal with that too, because you know what? We're all human beings. We all are made of masculine and feminine energy. It's everything. So I kind of want to take that back, because being that I am in this female body and this is my experience does not diminish what experience anybody else is having. And I feel like a lot of us are going through this. So yeah, whatever, men, women, whatever, whoever you are, however you identify, collectively, a lot of people have a hard time valuing themselves. And I very much struggle with this. So what was shown to me is the importance of what I am surrounding myself with, or what is going on around me. And a lot of times I'll think, oh, well, I did my meditation this morning. I'm in my little protective bubble. I can hold space for friends that are having a really rough day or whatever. Like I can participate in these conversations, even if I don't subscribe to the victimhood or scarcity mindset. I can be in these conversations and see, oh, wow, that's how that victimhood is playing out, and be able to recognize it. But little did I know that just by participating in any conversation that has to do with victimhood or scarcity, any speech that has to do with I don't have enough, things are not going to work out, any hypothetical ideas that our minds like to make up of what perceivable things could happen or not happen in the future, and the catastrophe that will possibly follow. um I recognize that this is something most of my life I have lived in this mindset, most of my life. So, major apologies to my family, my friends, my ex-husband. Oh, man, that couldn't have been easy to be around me at all. And I realize where I'm still surrounding myself with this mindset. And even though I think I'm protected from it, oh no, spirit has shown me, my higher self, universe, God, whatever you want to call that, has shown me very clearly that by simply holding space for that, I am doing myself a disservice, because whether I recognize it or not, I am absorbing that mindset. And it could be very subtle, but once I was shown that, oh my God, you guys, mind blown. I kind of freaked out. I mean, I talk about my process here a lot. I mean, that's the whole freaking point. That's why I'm here, sharing my process in the hopes that it will help somebody else. As we're all so different and unique. I hope if you're hearing this, you will take what works for you and leave what doesn't, because we're all different. It's totally okay. But for myself, when this was shown to me, and I want to say it was probably a week ago, about last Tuesday, this was shown to me, and I kind of freaked out. There was a day where I just, oh God, what am I going to do? Because I don't know how to change what I'm doing. Wow, that was a big deal. So, and really what it comes down to is people, places, and things. I need to be more cautious about where I'm spending my time, the people I'm giving my time and energy to. I need to be very careful. And I'm also learning a lot about myself. I'm new to this, but I'm learning about human design and starting to understand more about myself and recognizing. And if you're someone who knows human design, again, I am a newbie. I'm a toddler at this at best. And so trying to get an understanding of what it means for myself. I do not have a fixed root. I also do not have a fixed crown. Learning what that means. But what I'm sort of understanding with the not having a fixed route. And if you're listening to this and you want to comment and have any insight, I would love to hear it. Please, love to learn about this stuff. But I'm understanding that simply by being around people that are subscribing to catastrophe and the world is ending and yeah, I'm never going to have enough. This isn't going to work. I don't have enough money. I'm not going to get the job. It's not going to work out. People who subscribe to that, well, I think I might be being a really good person by just, okay, I'm so sorry, and being empathetic to that. Simply being in that space, I'm absorbing it. I am absorbing that. I'm taking it with me and I'm applying it to the rest of my life. And I had no idea I was doing that. But once I was shown and how that is playing out in my life, oh my God, I kind of freaked out. So I spent, I want to say Wednesday or Thursday, one day last week, it was kind of a blur, bawling my eyes out, journaling, just snotty tears. Yeah, I had a cold too, so extra snot just for fun. But oh my God, I was a hot mess. Just writing down whatever it is. I need to let this go. I can't do this anymore. I've got to be so careful about my surroundings, what I'm taking in. And wow, yeah, big shocker to me, but feeling like I'm on the other side of that now, of the like crying it out and just shedding that skin and being honest with myself, like, oh shit, I do that. I do that. But when I think about the person I was 4 years ago, 4 years, I quit drinking 3.5 years ago. So I've been, yeah, sober for 3.5 years, quit smoking shortly after that. Actually, this week will be 3 years since I gave up tobacco. So hell yeah, that's awesome. But as I'm like shedding these things and getting rid of these habits that I was just self-sabotaging, that mindset, there's part of it that still is hanging around, and that needs to go too. So letting all of that go and leaving that behind me. And I learned a little something today. Actually, I just stumbled upon this. There's somebody I really love and follow, have great information. And um they were talking about the neurons in our heart center, especially. And you guys, if you know me, I'm always talking about it, What does your heart say? Listen to your heart. Our hearts are so important, and what our heart is telling us is so important. And I just learned today, and again, you guys feel free to correct me. I'm welcoming any sort of insight you might have on this because, I'm learning. We're all just kind of learning as we go. But I learned that anything within 3 to 4 feet of our heart center, our energy is going out that far. We are taking it in. So just by being around things that we're not necessarily vibing with, that don't speak to our heart, we are doing ourselves a disservice. And I realize that there's a lot of times in our life where we can't control. I mean, you can always control. I mean, well, I don't want to say always. Every situation is different. There are certainly times when you might need to go to, like, say, a family function, and you know that you're going to be around people that maybe don't subscribe to the same heart song that you do, and that's okay. But for those times when you are in holding space for people that are maybe, like, for myself, it can be so many different things, but for me personally, it is subscribing to scarcity and subscribing to victimhood. Those are the running themes. And I'm seeing it play out in so many different ways when I thought, oh, I addressed that. I figured it out. No, 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 I have not. But I do have some tricks, and this is something that was very clearly shown to me. And these are tricks that I've kind of known that have been in my back pocket, and I have them there ready to use when I need them. And I do talk about them here. I don't think this is the first time I'm sharing it, but when you are going to be in space where you're going to be listening to some negative talk, and it's just that's going to be around, you're going to be with it. For myself, I am intending to limit my time with that energy and trying to put it out publicly. I'm holding myself accountable that I am going to limit my time holding space for that. Just that mindset in general, no matter who it is. I don't care who it is. And this is what I have to do for me. And the things that I have used successfully in the past, I've got a couple of tricks that I want to share that help when we're in this space. So first thing, breathing. Bring it back to your breath. And I like to take a deep breath. Think of one thing, just one thing that you're grateful for in this moment, and hold that thought for as long as you can. Think about that thing that you're grateful for. Try to feel how good it feels in your body that that you have this thing. And maybe you can't be in a place where you're like joy or gratitude, like that's too far of a stretch. Just peace, just something that brings you peace. Hold on to that as long as you can, and then hydrate because you probably need it. This is me talking to me. I don't know what your water drinking habits are, but I always probably need to hydrate. So that is what I tell myself. Another thing that I like to do is visualize that I am in a bubble, and understanding like how much our heart center and our heart energy extends beyond our body, which is about 3 to 4 feet. It's actually, your heart is taking in more information and sending it to your brain than the other way around, which we kind of think, oh, our brain is that main activity center and sending all that information. That's not true. And where humanity, I know, is evolving to be more heart-centered and actually think more with our heart. We were designed for this. We are designed for this. So, yeah, keeping our heart center and our heart space protected. And remember, like I said, 3 to 4 feet around you, your heart is registering. So you could be in line at a grocery store next to someone who is having a meltdown, and your heart might start to race a little bit and you don't even know why. You're feeling that person. We are all connected. We are all connected. We are all from source. We are all spirit. We are in these human bodies, having these human experiences, working through our individual shit, our own karma, everything. But on a collective level, we're all connected. We're all the same, and we're all feeling each other. So in the same sense that the work you're doing on yourself is reflecting out into the world, and the ripples that are being sent out in the collective, every time you do something good for yourself, it's amazing. It's amazing. And it's like impossible to even put a definition on how much you can affect the world around you by just taking care of yourself, being good to yourself. It's amazing. And we're not really taught that. I certainly wasn't taught that and am just now learning. So um yeah, like I think I was saying before. So and I apologize. I'm kind of all over the place. I don't really have notes or I just felt like I would share my revelations from last week since I don't have a guest. So thanks for listening, y'all. But yeah, when I think about uh, the times when I'm having a hard day and I feel like, oh, all of this is just for nothing. And yes, I might sound and seem super chipper, happy, la la la, but oh my God, let me tell you, the exact opposite is true. And if you are my friend or family and you damn well know that I flip a switch and I can be batshit crazy, angry, ready to rip faces off in like that. It doesn't take long. It's gotten a lot better. And I've learned a lot more self-control. Certainly getting rid of the substances was the first and foremost thing I needed to do. But, like I've also shared, is working my 12-step program and getting honest with myself. And that for me was a 12-step program. I also did that with therapy. I think my therapist was, I don't know, I would say equal, maybe they were the same. Like I needed my therapist just as much. And yeah, whatever tools, whatever you're using to be able to look at yourself honestly and get to the bottom of the things that are triggering you, the reasons you're reacting, just addressing our trauma. Because as human beings, we all have trauma. That's what we're here to work through and learn how to love ourselves through that. That's the challenge. That's the challenge. And it's as far as I can tell, it continues as long as we are on this planet in these human bodies. That's what we're here doing. I know I was raised to think that I was just here to work or maybe have babies, which wasn't able to do. Dealt with a lot of feelings of self-doubt that I am a wasted human body because I wasn't doing my female duty to reproduce, which was very much comes from how I was raised. But that's nonsense. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to break cycles. I'm here to stop the freaking nonsense and break the cycles. So that doesn't necessarily mean I fit in all the time. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I'm kind of like not the black sheep of the family, but I'm definitely the tie-dyed goat. So, and I'm now learning how to take pride in that instead of being ashamed of myself for that. But the benefits of getting down to the reality of how we are affecting our own situation, like my reality is my reality because I made it so. Everything going on up here, like my whole world is my doing. And that stands true for everybody. We are so good at playing the blame game as humans. We are. Everybody is. And I know most of my life, oh my God, you guys, I could have blamed my entire life on my little brother. I could figure out a way where anything wrong in my life is his fault. And that sibling rivalry of, it's never fair. Nothing's ever fair. I had to break out of that shit and take ownership and be like, oh, no, I am my worst enemy and I need to fix this shit. So, like I said, this last week of recognizing where I am still holding space for, and therefore not even aware, but now aware, but I wasn't, that I was allowing that mindset to become my own. So, this is me holding myself accountable to say, no more. I am setting boundaries there. And when it comes to when I find myself in a situation where I'm with someone who is determined to subscribe to those mindsets, my mission is to stop whoever I'm speaking with. Stop. We breathe together and we must say together, I have enough. I do enough. I am enough. That's it. No more going down the story or letting our minds run away with what the possibilities could possibly be, because the fact is, it's always working out. It is always working out. We all have a team of spirit guides making sure that it is always working for us. Do we have lessons to learn from this? You're damn right we do. That's the whole fucking point. So it ain't going to be easy. It's not pretty, but here we are. And if you are existing right now in this time and space, you are a part of a human evolution that we have not seen on this planet in thousands of years. So it's going to get ugly. But the beauty that lies on the other side of that is so worth it. It is worth it. So yeah, it's it's not easy to take an honest look at yourself and call out your own bullshit. But once you start doing that, those moments of joy, and not just finding a minute of peace here and there, but genuine joy, they come. They come, but it takes work. You got to do the work to get to the joy on the other side. Yeah, so my rant. But yeah, I was thinking about it earlier, and like 4 years ago, where I was in my life, I thought I had everything perfect. I thought my life was great. And on paper, it certainly was. Uh, but on the inside, I was miserable. And it really took my life breaking me down to nothing. I think about it, it was like almost like I went through spiritual military where I got broken down and just strip away everything that I thought defined me. And now on this journey to understand what is authentically me, what is coming from me, and what is coming from a source around me that I'm simply subscribing to because I'm in the proximity of. And now the journey continues. I'm still learning who I am. I'm still trying to get in touch with myself and figure out who's Jen? Who is she outside of the projections of what everybody expects of me and I've just taken on as my own. And it's a constant journey. It's a constant challenge, but like I said, the joy, the moments of pure joy and happiness and just delighted to be me that I'm finding are growing every day. And I want that for everyone. I do. I genuinely want everyone to just be in love with yourself, like so fucking in love with yourself. Fuck everybody else, not needing validation from any exterior thing. Because we do, like, okay, I say we, I know I'm not alone in this. I very easily eh, this, and I know it's part of my addiction tendencies, codependency. I seek validation in others, and I have to catch myself regularly. Like, oh, it doesn't matter what this person thinks of me. I love me, and that's all that matters. But it's a constant thing, and it takes a lot of diligence to be able to call myself out of my bullshit and be like, oh, this doesn't, what am I doing? Why do I feel uncomfortable or unsettled? I'm like, oh, well, my partner hasn't said how nice I look today, or whatever. Like, or if my partner's having a rough day and I take on that energy, like, oh, I must have done something wrong. He hates me. I'll catastrophize and be like, oh my God, he's having a bad day. He's probably just planning on leaving and planning on moving out and not gonna tell me until later. I go way off the deep end with that. But starting to recognize the reason I'm doing that, some of it is still because I still have a lot of work to do. I do. But some of that is that I'm surrounding myself with people who subscribe to that. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's got to stop. I can't hold space for that anymore. So big changes in me. And I think what I keep kind of circling back to, this episode is going to be all over the fucking place. So thank you for listening. I'm just rambling out here in my studio. But hey, whatever. Next week I'll have another guest and we'll mix it up. But what I thought about, like I said, 4 years ago, where my life was and the train wreck my life had to go through to break down and shatter all of that bullshit. I'm building myself back up. We're coming back from that. But that's what it took. Evolution is not pretty. It's fucking ugly. And, you know, it's bloody, it's gory. That's what evolution is. But here we are. And if you're here on this planet right now, guess what? Your spirit signed up for this journey. So whatever you're doing, wherever you're at on this journey, I am proud of you. Keep doing the work. It keeps getting better. Are there bad days? Oh, fuck yes, there are bad days. But you know what? Those bad days open up to sunshine, and it opens up to a shift in yourself. When you have those, I don't know, these moments of like, oh shit, this is how I'm fucking up my life. It seems like the end of the world. Oh my God, how am I going to continue living my life now that I've realized this? But what waits on the other side when you just like acknowledge, oh, okay, this is where I need to make some adjustments in my life. Let's do that. Taking baby steps. I'm not saying like, being a whole new person and changing all of the things you do, all of the things you eat, to the places you go, and all of this stuff at once. Do not do that to yourself. That is fucking crazy. Be gentle and kind to yourself. I know who I was 4 years ago. My life looked nothing like it does now. And I would have never imagined I would be in this place where I am learning how to take care of my body, love myself, and actually wow. I mean, the transformation from the last 4 years has been insane. Like physically, emotionally, spiritually, everything has changed. But that's what it took. And guess what? The steps that I was taking were so small that when I think back, there was a couple big ones. There was definitely some big ones, like quitting drinking, quitting smoking, changing my diet, things like that, getting rid of dairy. Those things, yeah, they seem like, oh my God, am I gonna have to give up ice cream? Oh my God, I'll never be able to smoke again. Oh my God, you're just devastated, right? But holy shit, I would never want to go back now that I look back. But it took a ton of little baby steps to get where I am right here. And those steps are going to keep going. Like I said, last week, it was another one of those. I'm devastated. Like, oh my God, I need to change everything about my life, which is not true. I don't need to change everything about my life. I need to be stronger in myself and hold firmer boundaries. That's it. But if you would have talked to me like 5 days ago on what that looked like, you would have got tears and snot. And oh my God, my life is over. So I needed to come to terms with some shit, and that's okay too. Give yourself grace. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And even if it's just the tiniest little change, the tiniest little change, like I don't know. For example, the one thing for me this year, the thing I wanted to change was I'm a big fan of waking up first thing in the morning and having coffee. And I know that's not the greatest for my body. I need to hydrate. So my challenge to myself was to have a pint glass of lemon water before I have coffee every morning. Not a huge change. It's not a huge change at all. I just leave my water glass by my coffee cup and know one has to come first. And, I can drink that while I'm making my coffee. And it seemed like such a big deal. Like at around Christmas time, I was like, oh my God, how long am I going to stick to this? We'll see. It's like that New Year's resolution that by January 11th, I'm like, yeah, no. But I'm still sticking to it. My body is thanking me. I actually feel like I've shed a couple pounds in that. And it's like, that's awesome. That could have to do with the dairy too, but whatever. Feeling really good. Yeah, it just takes the littlest steps and baby step it. It's a long journey. There's no reason to speed it up and be hard on yourself and beat the shit out of yourself on this journey. And we are all here to help each other because we are all reflections of each other. So the more healing that you're doing on a personal level, whether you know it or not, you are affecting everyone in your life. You are affecting everyone you encounter. Uh, it- yeah, the ripple effect is endless. And it's so fucking beautiful to be able to, I don't know, like own up to your shit and do the work and then move past it, shedding that skin and then being able to emerge like, oh shit, I did that. It feels awesome. And I really just hope and wish that other people can feel that joy and that pride in themselves of just knowing, you know what? I showed up for myself and I did my fucking best today, which on that note, everybody is always doing their best every goddamn day. Even if you have a day where you feel like you're not fire or whatever, you are always doing your best, and give yourself grace. You are perfect. We are all perfect. We are all having this fucking crazy human experience. So the more we can come together and help each other to feel good in our own skin and get in touch with what our heart is saying, not what the hearts of other people around us, even if they're in close proximity, family or friends or your partner or your loved one. It doesn't matter what other people are subscribing to. The only thing that matters is what's right here in your heart. So I'm a big fan of meditation. And I know there's a lot of people that will say, oh, I can't meditate. Oh my God. Oh my God. I have so many people in my life that say that. Like I think I invited a family member to a meditation one time. Oh my God, I don't meditate. I'm like, okay, I get it. Like sitting down and like this Zen space. And actually, this is kind of my meditation corner right here. I really love it. But that's my jam. And that's, if it's not yours, that's totally okay. But meditation looks different for everybody. I like to do other things to meditate too. I like to build puzzles. I like to walk. I like to just stare at the water or the ocean. That's another big meditative thing for me. It can look a lot of different ways in your life, but the main thing to get in touch with what's yours, what's your energy, is finding that time where you are just with yourself, and a time where you can find peace as yourself. So what brings you peace? What mundane activity? It could be like knitting or crocheting, or like, I don't know, I'm just thinking of things I enjoy doing. This is going to translate differently whoever you are, but whatever it is that that activity where you aren't putting a lot of thought into the actual activity, you're allowed to be alone with yourself, but you're also in a place of peace and contentment. Finding those moments, those are so crucial and important for understanding what your heart is saying. And it's practice. Nobody says you, like, it's a meditation practice, just like yoga is a practice. Everything we do is a practice. We're not perfecting anything. So say you want to challenge yourself and try to start meditating. Start small. Start with 60 seconds, start with 90 seconds, and just see if you can sit with your thoughts for that long. If that rings true to you. If it doesn't, find something else. There's lots of ways that you can get in touch with who you are, what your heart is telling you, and what your higher self is trying to tell you. Because like I said, your higher self, your spirit team, we all have them. They are always trying to talk to us, and they are always working for us, always. So yeah, highly encourage anyone listening to find those moments. Get in touch with yourself and do something nice for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Love yourself because you're worth it. You're amazing. You are fucking perfect exactly as you are. Doesn't matter if you are a crying snotty mess. You're fucking perfect in that. Know that. Know that, because the work that you're doing on yourself is changing the world. It's changing the fucking world. And I'm fucking proud of you. I'm proud of me. I'm proud of us all. If you're listening to this, I imagine you're someone who's probably doing the work. I mean, maybe not, but I hope it encourages you to try it out, because it might not be easy, but it's worth it. It's really worth it. You are worth it. Yeah. I guess that's all I have to really share this week. So, you guys, if you want to check out what I'm up to, also what my partner is up to, check out the website, embracelove.life. I will always include the link on this so you can check out what's going on. I've got some herbal products out there if you guys are into my herbal goodies. And yeah, you can actually just reach out to me and schedule either healing sessions or a tarot reading. I love doing readings. They're so fun. So if that's something you're into, yeah, hit me up. I love to hear from people. I love to be able to share anything from my skill set with others. So Thanks, you guys, for listening. Thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad that I sucked it up and did an episode this week for y'all. And I'm excited with some interviews, you guys. I've got some interviews lined up. So going forward, like this year is going to be epic. I'm so excited. We're going to learn so much and grow so much together. So, again, thank you all for joining me here at Radiant Spirit and have an epic week. So much love. Bye.